Welcome back to the channel. This is Saturday Morning Tarot, and in light of the fact that we have an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, in the sign of Aries, right? We're in Aries season. This is going to be intended for Aries. However, if this message resonates, please take it, because we believe that messages that are intended to come to you seem to find their way, right? As always, please subscribe for more content like this. There is little drops here and there, and a dedication to providing resources on Saturday. Okay, this is a new deck. Okay, here's a first little hint. And we've got Mary Magdalene, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Oh my goodness, is that a... Wow, that's some really good energy you're walking into. So with this eclipse, we are going to be pushing away old energy and stepping into the new. That's good to step into. Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Wow. Okay, so this is the Apostle of Apostles, and she says, I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. And she's saying, I'm giving birth to the divine. So, interesting energy here. Mother-daughter duo. The divinity of a lineage. Okay. The second power. I trust what my soul desires. You're getting called to a certain path. Maybe there is some link to something that your ancestors once started, and you're getting realigned to that. It's a divine path that you were intended to be on. Your lineage was intended to be on. And maybe there was something that sidestepped you. Point of fact, maybe you are a tarot card reader and there was some sort of apprehension from your ancestors about doing that. But I see you're getting back on track. And again, we're clearing out old cycles with this eclipse. So we're going to step into what we were intended to do. Sorry, my floor is squeaky. Squeaky. The white rose. I radiate innocence and purity. If you look, there is a YouTuber who talks about the red and white rose, the left and the right-handed path. So essentially, this individual speaks about God and the divine feminine energy, right? And there being an imbalance, and because there was, I can't do justice. So I'm gonna put it down below so you can choose to watch it or choose not to. But they're karmically, not even karmically, the universe, there's always a balance, and if there's an imbalance, it will correct one way or another. But I feel like you're stepping into this path of this divine feminine energy. Charity callings. Abundance is my birthright. You can claim that. Go ahead and claim that. I claim it. I claim it. I'm not even Aries, but I'm gonna claim it. And look at that. The wealth line came out for us. Look at how it is around the thumb. My nails are what they are, but here you go. The wealth line, the effect, the quality of your health, unhealthy or sub-healthy state. People with health lines have more physical problems. Okay. Analyze. The longer and deeper the wealth lines are, the more prosperous the individual's economic situation and wealth accumulation ability. On the contrary, shallower or shorter lines indicate the wealth situation may be poor. However, the wealth line are only an indicated factor, and the real wealth situation depends on personal efforts and many other factors. But that's really interesting that that came out with you calling in that abundance. Remember, we talked about setting our intentions with our candle, drawing it in. We've also talked many times on this channel regarding water, using water as a means to attract and manifest. Speaking it onto our water before we drink it, what our intentions are, what we're drawing in, consuming that water and bringing it to ourselves, right? Saturn. Structure. We'll go deeper in a second. Okay. So Saturn. I'm trying to think of where Saturn is right now. Okay. Saturn rules that which we must build over time. Bones, teeth, personal authority, maturity, borders, discipline, traditions, and organizations. Saturn, like Jupiter, is a huge gas giant with its rings of ice and rock. It represents the boundary of the visible solar system as the last planet human can see with the naked eye from Earth's surface. Saturn, traditionally ruler of Capricorn and Aquarius, takes 29.5 years to round the zodiac and forms a challenging aspect to itself approximately every 7 years. Hence, the 7-year itch in a marriage, and 21 as the traditional age of official adulthood. Wow, that's interesting. Action. Saturn asks you to step into the next level of maturity and personal authority. You're stepping into your authority, your divine feminine authority, or if you're a man, that's okay. You step into your birthright, your path, your calling. Okay? You were never intended to be impoverished or to be ill or to be crippled or to live in conditions subpar. You were always intended to have this come to you, to have prosperity come to you. I know somebody in the comments reacted to a post I had about the candle, right? And they were like, I'm gonna win the lotto, right? And it's altering that self-talk of saying, it's gonna happen, right? To living in the energy of believing you already have it, right? And I'm not saying go and buy a Ferrari. I'm not saying that. But to see the prosperity abundant in your current situation, and then it catches up. Okay? I tell you, I can feel it when money is coming to me. And it's not a delusional thing. It's this, you sit in that energy, and then the universe has nothing else to do but to provide it, to show it up. Okay, the gift. So the ancestors call you to wisdom and maturity to know your gifts and limitations. This process may be an intentional a test that empowers you. Okay. Something intended to empower you. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. 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 That's that old energy, that raft. We're gonna move out of that. That's what we're pushing away. This survival mode, this has been coming up a lot, this raft and survival. We're walking away from this energy. This is being put to bed. Okay? No more. Foxglove. We've done foxglove before. Sexuality. They're very pretty. So this is known as the fairies glove. It attracts fairies. It attracts the fae. Remember, they can show up and they like little things and they will take over the yard. That's not necessarily a bad thing. When brought indoors, foxgloves are said to invite bad luck from fairies because of the flowers belonging to them. Picking foxgloves is believed to be unlucky, perhaps because they are poisonous to touch. The thimble-shaped flowers is said to represent the purity of the Virgin Mary because of her skill for sewing and spinning. Okay. Is your name Mary? Is your name Mary? Okay. Flora? Okay. The purple in this represents success. Pink, budding new romance. White, purity and innocence. Red, passionate love. And yellow, optimism. It's also known as the witch's gloves, goblin gloves, ladies' gloves, and fairy gloves, as well as fairy bells. I'm throwing things on my bed. Okay. We've got the 11th house, community. Community groups, element is air, ruler is Aquarius. Saturn was Aquarius as well. Okay. Body parts, legs, ankles. Keywords, group activities, communities, society, friends, sociable, friendships, long-term goals, ideals, family members, hope. So again, long-term goals. So again, putting you on the path for a long-term goal, and maybe it's taken these 7-year increments to go from one step to another. Maybe this was something that was on the back burner for that 7-year time cycle, and we're finally seeing it coming to fruition. It's pushing through with the shifting of this energy that's happening for this eclipse. All right, my dear, you're gonna think of a question and we're gonna pull you a yes, no tarot. Oh, we haven't had a yes. Good. I'm starting to get a little depressed. Okay, yes. Get ready for a series of amazing coincidences. They come from nowhere, but the result is what makes your life so sensationally rich and rare. Your special vibrations attract special events. They always have. That's the key. They always have. I always have money flow to me. I always get the best parking space. Everything always works out perfectly for me. It's that mindset, right? I live an abundant life. Coincidences are amazing, and everything falls into place exactly how it's supposed to. Okay. Yes. Yes. Your splendid, thoughtful approach to everything elevates you to the heights of success. In 4 to 5 months, this turns your daily strategies into a warm, beautiful reality. Success is achieved by those who don't treat failures as inevitable. Again, we're changing our mindset. We see ourselves as successful, and the universe provides us with that success. Okay. Ooh. It's looking great for you guys. Angel number. And we're trucking along. This feels very, like fast paced too. I don't feel like the message is dragging. It's like everything's fine. It's like a check-in, like the divine is saying, it's good. Don't worry. You were shifting. You're going to step into it. Perfect. 11:44. High vibes. Hello. Divine intervention, prosperity, big ventures, fated events, faith, purpose, higher calling. You guys. Yeah. Love or other happiness lurks just around the corner. Just around the river bend. I love Pocahontas. It will be love or other happiness lurks just around the corner. It will be something much better than in your wildest dreams. A rare opportunity, an exciting encounter with like-minded people will exceed your expectations. You're getting put on a path to bump into someone who is going to not only match your energy, but raise it. Right? You're attuning. You're like a tuning fork, like ding, and the universe is just honing in on that frequency. Okay? This is the coincidence. This is the bumping into people, the prosperity. It says so. It's fated event. It's just around the corner. Give it that time. Give it that attention of knowing that it's coming, and you will see it. Wow. Archetype cards. We needed such a good vibration, such a sweet sensation. The box. Wow, look at how deep it looks. It's an optical illusion, right? It could either look like you're falling or that you're on the top. It's all about perspective. The self. Look at how it radiates from inside that chakra. Okay. Let us get to our teeny tiny book and read. Okay. Oh! Nope. I thought I landed right on it. That would be too easy. Oh, I did. Okay. The self. If you've watched any of these readings, you know how long it takes me to find these stupid things. Not stupid things, but to find, because I have astigmatism. Okay, so the self. When light Witness accepting new aspects of self. That's stepping into our power. When dark, disjointed, fatigued, lacking energy and purpose. Okay, so the self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personality to radiate. So it's like when you hang some of those wind chimes or those crystals up and the light just hits it and it glints all around you. I'm gonna take a little side note. I was taking care of a patient in her room, and this lady used to always be upset, right? I walked in and I could see this prism of light all around her room. And I was like, is your angels here? And she just kind of smiled at me. And I'm telling you that I'm 100% sure that she had her angels in her room because of the light refracting all around. It was crazy. Yeah, I know that sounds like a crazy story, but that's the truth. So there's something divine radiating from within. And I want you to take note. Look at from within. Look at how it's all pointing. Look at how the light, right? And when it hits there, yes, it could go, yes, Kundalini could go up and down, but it goes right there, and then you're seeing this, the crown chakra, right? Get illuminated as well. It's like it's taking off like fire. Okay. So the self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personality to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it is lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and place, and leads us to experience the full breadth of life's offerings. The self is the central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. Infinite universe of possibilities, guys. When this card appears, it's a call to step back and to witness coincidences, to, and this is in red font, to observe yourself navigating the world. It's almost like a higher power is helping guide you, right? Ask yourself, am I the straw or am I the, ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, and observing as the spectrum of ingredients becomes the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. And then this is again in red. It says, attempt to see the you behind the you. Ooh, if you stare in the mirror, it's true. Sometimes it looks like there's a layering effect going on. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, the box. Uno momento. Sorry, Mentos go fresh. Sorry. The candy commercial. Okay, here we are. The box. When light, the structure, order, coherence, logic. When dark, limitations, rigidity, judgment, and fear. We all live to some degree within the confines of a box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us from the most unconscious levels. It is built of layers upon layers of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continuous effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well-paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small. This is a box around you now, made of some type of confining thought. What it is, the box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going, breaking through. An exquisite life requires it. Okay. All right, so we're breaking out of that box. We're pushing through that mold. And remember, we started this reading by talking about something that your ancestors started the path on, felt pressure, felt confined. Maybe it was something secretive that they didn't feel like they were allowed to do, or it was taboo, or it wasn't bringing in enough money. There was some sort of social construct prohibiting. But you're getting the green light, right? Giving birth to the divine, sitting in that energy of the divine, coincidences happening. So fated events, bringing in people, higher vibrations, amazing coincidences, right? Your special vibration attracts special events. Yeah. It's shifting. All the energy is shifting right now. It's just up to you to see it that way. To let the light that's in you radiate. To not stand in the shadows. It's time to stand in your own light, because you are creating the light. 3 of Cups, celebration, gathering. Maybe this gathering is what brings this coincidence or these people into your vicinity. Okay, so see, something clandestine, something secretive, something from the domesticated versus the wild. So the wolf looks up at the moon. The dog, you know, the domestic animal, he stops looking at the moon. You have to decide, are you going to stop looking up? Stop being guided by your instinct? Become domesticated? Become confined in these social norms? Or is it time with this eclipse to shift our energy and to let the light from within radiate, create that prism of wonderful rainbow colors, and to reside within that too. Okay, so we're manifesting. So maybe we're coming into this. So we're manifesting. Right? So Page of Wands. So yes, you feel like you're new at this. I don't feel like you're new at this if you harness the energy from persons from your lineage. I know it says Page of Wands, but it almost looks like the 3 of Wands. It's kind of giving that energy, like somebody looking out at the horizon, plotting their course. And it's all an adventure with a breathtaking view. Walking the tightrope with you. Walking the tightrope with you. Okay. What it is, y'all, feels good. The Hierophant, he wanted to come out in reverse, and I was like, I'm gonna flip you. But maybe we are walking away from these confines of these belief systems, these rules that we're told that we have to abide by. The Lovers, maybe a counterpart, a partner, whether it is actually a relationship, you know, of that sorts or not, is yet to be told. A lot of red, a lot of shifting from these blues and greens to this red. And then we see this yellow. So Ace of Wands. So actually taking that action, you're taking that step forward. Nine of Swords. So that anxiety, that sleepless nights, that worrying. We're worrying too much about other people's opinions, of other people's thoughts. We have to move out of this energy. We have to push it out in order to bring this abundance to us. Because if we sit in this energy, all we will see, all we will find is this energy. Okay, so we're not leaving it on a bad note. Let's clarify some of that. Nine of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, when I think about the Wheel of Fortune, it's like if you're on the bottom, the wheel is always turning, so you're going to be at the top pretty soon. I think of it as this. What makes the happy man sad and the sad man happy? This too shall pass. Right? Because if you're at the top, you're just like, oh, this too shall pass. But if you feel uncertain about your current situation, it's turning. It's turning. You just have to, I'm seeing in my mind like a lock, how it has to click into place. All the gears gotta turn before it's aligned up for it to open, for the door, for the vault to open. I'm seeing I'm seeing Scrooge McDuck's vault. Anyways, so it's just lining up. The gears are lining up. So take heart. Let's pull you some charms. This is energetically, it's going so much faster than I thought it was going to for this reading. I was so worried that it was gonna take a while to line up, and I don't know. I know I'm pulling too much charms for some people. That's okay. I like them. Okay. So, the rainbow, right? You can't enjoy the rainbow without the rain. Also, we were talking about that prism of light radiating from within outward. Toilet paper. We're cleaning up that bad energy. We're getting rid of it. We're flushing it. That's that old energy. So we've got our compass, right? We're navigating our course. We're plotting our way forward. Being called to something divine. Aquarius. We talked about Saturn. So Aquarius season. So Aquarius, maybe maybe your Saturn return is coming. Yeah, there's something there. 21 or 21? Something like that. There's something about the energy. Lucky numbers 12, 15, 19, 26, 35, and 40. Sweet treats are in your future. I bet you if you believe that, it would magically appear. Okay, so this is the like astronaut in the ocean. Confinement, feeling confined, feeling restricted. That's that old energy, that sort of suffocating feeling of societal rules. Oh, this is the mask. So masquerade, we're walking around in almost a self-imposed lie. We're doing this for social norms to comply to expectations. Louisiana. Oh, okay. The bell. So, like the Polar Express, once they stopped believing, they couldn't hear the bell ring. But if you were to believe, then you could hear it, or you believed in the miracle, they heard it, right? So believe in the miracle so you could hear the bell. No, believe in the miracle so you can step into this new timeline, to this new path that the eclipse is providing us an opportunity to shift into. And yeah. Okay. The skull and crossbones. So death to an old cycle, death to an old way of being, a way of thinking. It's that shifting again. Snowflake. Okay. And we've got, ooh, the heart emoji. Not a heart emoji. It looks like communication. So it looks like you're gonna get a message. So maybe this coincidence leads to communication back and forth. Yes, there's something there as far as communication. So the coincidence leads to communication, leads to higher vibration, leads to you to lining up to some sort of path that your ancestors were always intended to do. I was wondering when or if this would ever come out. I feel like I'm telling you a bunch of stories and nothing has weight to it or is solid. I received this paperclip from inside a dream. Stay with me here. I was in a dream, literally, I was asleep, and these three entities came to me. There were two men who were this was at my old house that I moved from. There were two men standing outside, head to toe black. Like if you were to describe the Men in Black, but they didn't say anything, right? And then an African American woman, shaved head, came into the home, right? And she didn't say anything, but I knew she was going to give me something. Then she reached through the screen door, and one of the Men in Black handed her a paper clip. And then she gave it to me. And when I woke up, literally, this was in the bed, and I'm like, why is there a paperclip? And then the flood of that dream, and I'm like, this is bizarre. No one will believe me, but I'm putting it in this bag because there is something about this paperclip. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's supposed to tell me, Maybe it's telling me that I can materialize things, that you can materialize things into your current timeline, into your current existence. I'm not sure. Perhaps objects that appear to have no value or no meaning are extremely important. Do not overlook something that mainstream society would just walk by. Perhaps that is your key, and perhaps that is your message. The other thing I want to speak of, since we're talking about strange and unusual things, which I don't usually do, maybe I do, but not to this degree, right? I had a vision while I was at work. I was on hold on the phone, and I closed my eyes for a moment, and I saw this, it almost looked like an organism. I'm going to describe it like that. Something almost like an organism, but aquatic, like a jellyfish, but not a jellyfish. It was grayish purple, but like the lightest hue of purple, but gray. And it was ripply, like the human brain is ripply, right? And it would, like ribbon, like a wave hit it, and it would ripple this way, and like another wave would hit it, and it would ripple that way. So there was this constant moving of this ripple in between, right? Because we said it was like the human brain, these little dips in it, like ribbon. These little dips would have these green spherical looking things. There'd be like one or two stuck together, and they were these green like organisms. And when it would ripple backwards, these would come forward through almost like a cornfield. You know how corn would just like move apart if you were walking in it, and then when it would like wave forward, it would go this way. Anyways, I don't know what that is trying to tell us, but I feel like because I was going to do this reading, it was intended to be talked about. So it's almost like an organism, something like aquatic in the sense the movement looked like it was in the ocean or in some sort of water or something like that. But it was purplish gray, ripply, with green spherical things in between the ripples, like a brain, right? But it wasn't a brain. It was a little bit more flowy, like, that's why I want to say jellyfish, back and forth. I don't know if it's a virus. I don't know if it's something in the ocean, but I was going to do this message, so this is the message I'm giving you. There's something there. I don't know what it is. You can take what resonates, leave the rest. As always, thank you so much for hopping in and watching us for the last 43 minutes. If you don't mind, please be courteous and treat our like button as our karma jar. Put good karma in, get good karma out. Please subscribe for more content like this. And as always, we will be seeing you. Bye. Okay. Back in you go. Let's see when you come back out again. Too shabby.